When someone's clairvoyant, it simply means that they can see beyond what we see in the physical 3D. This physical world we're in, the conversation we're having out loud, our five senses basically. Clairvoyance, and anything clair, because there's many clairs, says that you can perceive beyond those five senses. That's when we get into extrasensory perception. So we have clairvoyance, clairaudience, where you can hear things beyond what we physically hear, and every sense you can name, there's a clair version of that. I'm India Lee, and I'm an intuitive reader and soul purpose coach. As a child, as young as 8, 9, 10, I was checking out the book from the library called ESP, which is what we called it back then, extrasensory perception. You know, we were very, you know, a whole different lingo. I was reading about telepathy, I was reading about telekinesis, all of these supernatural abilities, and I was just fascinated. I kept checking that book out over and over and over again. And unprompted by anything, I just was sort of diving in. And I remember I would have visions, I would have claircognizance, which is what you call a clear knowing, where it's like thoughts, but you know that they're not your thoughts, they're coming from beyond. And I would have that at a young age. But just kind of thought, like you do when you're a kid, everybody's doing this. This is life, you know. And then as I was growing up, I put myself toward more practical endeavors, like becoming a journalist. I was a newspaper journalist and editor for a lot of years, and rediscovered those gifts later in life, a lot later in life. Growing up, I was not raised in any kind of religious construct. I was lucky enough to be the child of a military Air Force man, and my mom, who's just a wonderful free spirit, and we just went about creating our own lives wherever we were in the world. Italy, Colorado, Alabama, and so my experience was very free from any kind of real confining structure other than military life, which I feel kind of gave me the structure that I did need in a way that wasn't too harsh. Sort of a safe structure. Living on a base was a nice experience. So my childhood was one of me exploring my spirituality very much on my own, but encouraged by my parents, who would just say, well, that's great, whatever you want to explore. They would not say, you know, we believe this or we don't believe that. And so when I would come to them with, you know, I want to buy myself a Bible and I want to read it, they'd be like, all right, I want to read this ESP book and learn about that, or Houdini, magic, I was really interested in. All right. So they were very just whatever you want to discover about yourself, which was great. I will say traveling the world at a young age was one of those sort of formative experiences, because that was what enabled me to pick up anywhere and say, okay, this is the experience I'm having right now, and none of that past applies to where I am now. And that's something that really helps when you're trying to live in a way that's spirit connected and intuitive. It helps to be able to detach from your surroundings. So it might be maybe more difficult if you're raised in one place, know the same people all the time, you get this firm idea of who you have to be. And I didn't have that, which was a blessing, yeah, and a gift for sure. We have our mind, we have our filter. It's like any other filter. It gets full, it gets clogged. Our mind is filled with not only things we've learned this lifetime, but things that other people are telling us constantly. The repeating thoughts that we have, they're always going. And that creates kind of a dirty filter And that filter is the only thing I've learned through this work that sits between our guidance and our receiving of it. That's why we talk very boringly about meditation being so important, because that is really the best way, the easiest way, the most proactive way to keep that mind filter clean. I myself sometimes have to get to a saturation point where the body will let me know, okay, that mind filter is full. So then we have to kind of, shut down, have a day or two where you're doing nothing. Some people have to go out in nature. Some people have to play music, whatever it is. That's you cleaning that mind filter so that you can receive your purest guidance and your truest, most authentic spirit self. Carl Jung and his work, Jungian symbolism, is so important in intuitive work for me, especially because I am a visual person. So I enjoyed the work of Carl Jung long before even discovering the depth of tarot. So Carl Jung would talk about the archetypes, the symbols that we see in the world and how they represent aspects of ourselves, which is everything that the tarot is doing. When you're looking at tarot, you're looking at images, you're looking at those symbols. You may even notice symbols and images that aren't necessarily a part of the direct meaning of that card, but you notice it and you say, well, this speaks to me. And Jung was always about recognizing which symbols and archetypes speak to you and why. So when we talk about archetypes, let's look at the tarot. We have an archetype of, say, the Empress. The Empress is this ultimate queen, this feminine power. And you tap into that, you see the Empress, and you see, oh, if you're looking at that card, you might say, oh, this is my time to step into that feminine power of receiving, of allowing things to come to me. You're recognizing that archetype in yourself. So the major arcana take us on a journey through these archetypes. And when you look at it, it represents each step of your path. So archetypes are hugely powerful. You can see them in the world without even having to pick up a card deck. A lot of people find their signs and synchronicities and symbols in TV, in music. You might see a sign, a literal billboard, and go, oh, that has something that speaks to me. This is all valid because your higher guidance is guiding you to pick up on those things. You're tapping into that wisdom. I remember very vividly, I had started playing with oracle cards, and oracle cards are different from tarot cards. You don't really have to learn anything to play with oracle cards. They have the message right on them. And I was playing with a deck of archangel oracle cards, and I was sitting on my bathroom floor, and I say playing, I was not having fun. I was having a hard time. So I was asking these cards, what do I need to know? What am I missing here? And I was shuffling, and no one had taught me. I was just kind of, shuffling, playing with these cards, would pull one out, look at it, and the angel on the card was Archangel Uriel, and it said, you know what to do. And I was thinking, no, I don't know what to do. I would like to know what to do. Please tell me. So I put it back in, shuffled those cards around, and that card came out again. You know what to do. And so I was like, what? And I kept putting that card back in, kept shuffling, kept coming out with that card about 7 or 8 times, nothing but that card in a card deck of 44. So I was like, all right, there's something happening. It's impossible for me to shuffle and keep getting the same card 7 or 8 times, only that card. This is real. And along with getting that physical card, I was getting tingles in my body, which I now call spirit tingles, but they are, it feels as if I'm sticking my finger in an electric socket, that kind of zing you would get, but it's a good feeling. And it's all through the body. And that's the way my higher guidance and my guides let me know, hey, we're here, we're telling you something important. And I knew from that card, okay, I might not have the physical answer, but I have the answer. I know what to do, which is continue listening to this guidance. I had my one and only child when I was 41, much later in life, and I had gone through a lot of things in the journey to become a mom. So I had been a journalist, and then I noticed that really stressed me out. I noticed because my body was making it unmistakable. So I would pursue yoga and massage and meditation and things that would bring relief to my body from that stressed state. That eventually, over many years, led me to the point of being fertile enough at 41 to have a child, because stress itself can get in the way and create a block to being able to create anything, especially a life. So at 41, had that baby, and when you've lived 40 years and then you suddenly have a child, it changes you quite literally on every level. So it rearranged me like a Rubik's Cube, and I was dealing with a lot in my body and in my mind. I had always had a lot of anxiety. Younger days, it had manifested as probably full-blown OCD, if not OCD tendencies. And I had worked a lot with my anxiety over the years. And so it kind of came to a head trying to be a mother to a baby and also be later in life and be making this career transition I was making. It wasn't going to work anymore to be a journalist. So I was just kind of doing that. I remember feeling pretty desperate in my anxiety and just sort of working with self-hypnosis recordings, equivalent to meditation recordings, but these were targeted at helping me clear the mind of that anxiety. So I was really intensively working with that intention of, let's clear this. This is really hurting me physically. So one day I felt that bolt of electricity that I'm talking about coming straight through the top of my head, which is your crown chakra. And the crown chakra just felt like it kind of exploded open. And then I felt that electricity all the way down my body. One night, I have never passed out in my life except for this one time that I got up in the middle of the night, passed out, hit my head right here on the floor and woke up. I went to an intuitive or a psychic, psychic's almost becoming an archaic term these days, but an intuitive medium and a medium is someone who can communicate with spirits on the other side. And I sat down with them, and I had never been to anyone like this before. And I said, I'm just going through things, I'm feeling things. And he was like, oh yeah, you are. And he said, your guides are telling me that they had to tap open or break open your third eye. And I said, well, the other night I fell and hit my third eye. He said, yep, that's what they were doing. So the third eye is really important for being able to perceive beyond our senses in the physical world. So they were helping me with that. And after that, I absolutely was receiving clearer messages. I would take my little toddler then to play dates with other moms. And as we'd be talking just as moms, I would get these tingles in my body. And I would feel like, okay, there's something coming through that I want to tell you. That's a claircognizant message I want to give you. Is that okay? And fortunately, most of the moms I was around were very open to that. Once in a while, there would be one that'd be like, no, thank you. I am here to play. But most of them were very supportive, and that was my first practice with giving readings. Then I would bring my cards, and sometimes we'd let the kids play while I was doing full-on card readings at the dining room table. So that was great. Clairvoyance and intuition are in the same family, but they're different in that clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, which is feeling in your body, and claircognizance, which is clearly knowing. Clair just means clear, so it's clear beyond the five senses. Those are just more specific brands, if you will, of intuition. So when you're starting on your connecting journey with your own intuition, what you're listening to first is your body. Your body is actually your most powerful divination tool, because your body will always point you where you need to go energetically. Your body is always going to pick up first the energy that our senses with our mind are not necessarily perceiving. So if we go back to saying, okay, today I'm feeling something in my body, maybe there's tension, my mind goes about going, well, why is that there? I didn't know I was stressed about anything. And we start to sort of almost argue with our body. But if we say, okay, body, thank you, you're showing me something, then we might feel into, well, where is that tension? Is it on my right side, which is my masculine side? Is it on my left, which is my feminine? Let me feel into shoulders. Shoulders hold responsibility. Am I holding on to a lot of responsibility? So, Allie, this is your reading. And what we're going to do is we're feeling into your energy. We're feeling into the messages that are coming in through your higher guidance, through your spirit guide team, and everything within your energy field that has information for you to use in your life to align with your highest reality, your highest self. So we're going to start by just gently clearing out any interference between you and your receiving of those messages. And as you do that, you can connect with your breath first, bringing that oxygen in deeply all the way down to your belly. And as you breathe, you're going to be opening up your energy centers, your power centers. And we're feeling into those energy centers, what some people call chakras, and we are feeling into any blockages, anything that you might need to be aware of so that you can operate from a higher awareness of what's going on within yourself and in your reality. And so as you breathe, you're imagining that that top energy center, your crown chakra, is sliding open like a skylight or like a sunroof in a car. And as you breathe and allow this light and oxygen to come in, you are aligning yourself with being a living pillar of this energy. As you take that one more breath, coming back into your body, you can open your eyes.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so relaxed.
Yeah, good. And that relaxed state is the best for being able to receive the messages that are for your greatest good and highest purpose. That's the next step, as we align our intentions that all of the messages that come through for you, that everything that happens in this session is for your greatest good and highest purpose. And so the next thing I do is I just ask your guide team for kind of a cue, a place to start. And I like to use tarot for this, or oracle cards. And we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. So what that tells me is that you're at a destined moment, a crossroads in your life, a place on your path where you are moving forward into receiving more. The Ace of Cups talks about receiving more emotionally, receiving more in a way that is so fulfilling to your heart. And that's what's happening, and it's divinely timed to happen right now. So it's not anything you have to do or make happen. Have you been noticing?
I actually just moved, and since that move, I feel like that was like a really big change in a positive direction for me. So that's really interesting that you say that, because I moved, I think that was like 2 months ago, and then since then I feel like things have all kind of been falling into place like in my life. So that's really...
Yeah,
it's interesting.
And I imagine that move has been really emotionally fulfilling.
Absolutely.
Because cups are not about the mind. They're not about our thoughts. They're about what we're feeling. Mm-hmm. And water, which is represented by those cups, is your emotional state. And you know, you told me beforehand that you're an Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign that's all about thoughts, thinking. It's actually the most intellectual of the air signs, of all the signs. You receiving those cups, that water, that's telling me that you're shifting from a head space to a heart space in a big, powerful way. That's important for your path, because on your path up to this point, it may have been very intellectual, may have even been pretty masculine energy, meaning I think logically, maybe connect with the masculine in a very intellectually compatible way. Mm-hmm. But now you're moving that down into your heart. So now you're ready to step into deeper fulfillment, which is shown here by the sun. This is allowing you to not just have to stay in that mind space or that masculine space within you, but to be able to move into balance with your feminine heart and be able to, you know, really kind of come into a deeper place of union or integration within yourself. And so it's a real balancing time for you. Now, you also have justice showing up, which says, okay, the divine, however you connect with the idea of the divine, the universe, is coming in and balancing things out for you. And your guides are really asking you to let go. And if you feel emotions come up, that's the best confirmation of any reading. So all you need to be doing is, surrendering, trusting, letting go. That's what you're getting. Because in the past, let's say this had to do with relationship. If it did, the person who's shown up, Spirit's saying, this is your match and it's healthy and it's balanced. In the past, you've had some interactions with an unhealthy energy or even a toxic energy. That was to show you any wounds within yourself around that masculine energy. And if we go deeper, it shows our own relationship with ourselves. So maybe your masculine, which can be your mind, was a bit toxic with you. So these masculine reflections that showed up in dating were just showing you that. And now you see it, so now you're ready for this healed version to show up.
Wow.
We are all born with the ability to become some kind of clair, some kind of instrument of our intuition. We're not all going to experience it the same way, but we all have that ability, and it's very specialized and unique to who each of us is, to reach beyond this physical, beyond the veil as they call it, and tap into that guidance that's on the other side. We are all collectively, as a planet and as a species, evolving spiritually to be able to connect with these. We have our own inner guidance that's in there going, hey, I'm telling you things that are true that you need to know, that will guide you in your easiest and highest path. But we're also listening up here to these conditioned voices that have been in there for our whole lives, or that have gotten in there steadily, or maybe we even inherited them. And those voices are telling us something completely different. So when you're following your body toward where the energy is telling you I'm blocked, telling you there's something that needs to be cleared so that you can hear your guidance more clearly, you are using your intuitive abilities. Then you can take it further. Then you can say, all right, what am I perceiving? Once I'm in this clear and open space, if I am treating everything that happens as an interaction with my higher guidance, as an interaction with the universe, what is that telling me? What we do a lot of times is we exist simultaneously on two levels. It's very much like you're walking down the street and you're also on your phone. You're in the world, but you're not. Your soul had a journey before you were born in this life. So to understand a glimpse of that can really help you understand where you are and where you're going from here. And you definitely can't go wrong by integrating all those modalities, whether it's human design, astrology, tarot, any number of any other modalities that you might want to try out. It's all going to just give you a different lens on those parts of you.